to the channel. Welcome back to the first live show of actually the first day of the opening of the transfer window. Funny enough, or actually, it's almost the second day over here, and for Norbert as well. But we're gonna talk about a big month that got a lot more spicy the last what was it hour or so when Bologna spoke. But we have main targets that we need to get before the season kicks off. On Wednesday, schedule will be released midday, and then actually next week preseason starts, and the first friendly game it's at the end of the month, so it's going fast now. But with me, Norbert, how are you? How are you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing well. I'm off work for 2 weeks. I'm having my holiday, so I'm chilling. Yeah, watching these fantastic Euro games. This Euros is. I feel like this is the worst in many years.
Yeah, it's not good.
Um, yeah. Also, there's only one team who's playing football, and that's Spain, and all the others are like I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, this month is going to be exciting, Juve wise, especially this week I think because I'm pretty sure Motta wants some players in for a 10th of July the preseason starts. So let's hope Giuntoli can do his magic.
yeah. Um, it's gonna take some time. Or like, definitely, it's gonna take some time. Euro is still ongoing. Like you said, it's
Yeah,
not good. That's why I've always said that like international football, for me, it's not even close to club football. Like quality wise, everything is just
yeah,
vibes. And there's no real stress. That's why I think people enjoy it. But like the quality wise and the anxiety, it's not even close to me because the football is not good. It's not enjoyable. It's just not good. The quality is extremely poor. Even top teams, like the quality is poor, and it only makes sense that it's not great because they don't train together much. So
yeah.
it's all on the fly. But yeah, that's that. Euro's still ongoing for certain players, but not for all players. Actually, for Koopmeiners, it was never ongoing. So somebody said that yeah, he's a main target, but actually you could have been in talks with Atalanta because he's not at the Euros. He made it very clear that he wants to leave, and Atalanta accepted that he was gonna leave or he is gonna leave. So people might say, why is there actually no progress in that regard for Koopmeiners? Do you have a theory as of why there's no news surrounding Koopmeiners, who is like a main target, but like yeah, no, there's no Euros for him. So
Hmm. Yeah, I don't because like Giuntoli now has people. Like he has his own people here, so he could do like many things at once if he wants. So I'm not sure. Maybe we're waiting to sell someone, but it also doesn't make sense because maybe we're waiting. Maybe it's all waiting for Chiesa. Like what's happening with that? Because then we know if we can sell Sule or we can sell Chiesa or what's happening, and then maybe that money would unlock Cope Miners. Not sure.
do you like my theory is that he is the main target. However, there's also a name that's not been put out there right now, or like there is a
Mm,
player that nobody's really talking about, and that's why the club hasn't fully committed to bringing in Koopmeiners. Like the sales make sense because we like if he's valued at 60 million, not saying we're gonna pay 60 million, we don't have even 45 million basically, just to spend. So you're gonna need to sell. You don't need to listen to reports saying that Huijsen and Sule are gonna fund Turam, and Huijsen and Sule are gonna fund Koopmeiners, and the next day they're gonna fund Calafiori, and the next day they're gonna fund. Like, don't believe those stories right now, because player out, whatever. We just need players out. The club needs to
yeah,
generate funds, but the Koopmeiners one, that's a deal. Um it's gonna take forever. If the club actually wants to bring him in, and he is the main target, it's gonna take forever. Somebody said he agreed with Liverpool. He didn't.
Nah.
He actually wants to stay in Italy. Those are his words. That he prefers to stay in Italy. Like it's very clear where this is going if Juve pays or if Juve agrees a term. Like that's what it is right now. That's the situation. It's all about like on player levels. Giuntoli did what he had to do, basically on all main targets right now.
Yeah.
Like he did it even for Douglas Luiz and Thuram. Maybe not main targets, but like he did what he had to do really quickly. Agree terms, and now let's move to the clubs. That's what he did. So I cannot say anything bad on Giuntoli for that because he did what he had to do. He agreed terms with all players, all the targets, actually very quickly. It's all about
Yeah.
agreeing terms with Atalanta right now. And my point is that there is another name. That's one, and two, we're gonna need to sell, like you say. But the sales are kind of holding up a little bit everything right now because who is gonna be sold right now? Nobody knows. Like actually, nobody knows. There are no
Yeah.
offers right now as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. Hard to make plans if there is no sale, and we all know that we need to sell players. And yeah, I feel like Sule is like Motta will see him. Like he will check him out. What does he do in preseason, and then he might be sold at the end if whatever. But Chiesa is the big question for me. I don't care either way. I just want it to be done. Same with Rabiot. I think Rabiot is gone, but yeah, but all the others we hear nothing. We heard like a few weeks ago, months ago, even like about Arthur or Milik, but nothing now.
But actually, sales as well. Like I think like this is very. It's still very early, even though
Yeah,
it doesn't feel early. For other clubs, it's also early. The Euros is going around. Like if the Euros was not kicking about right
yeah,
now, things would have been moving much much faster, basically right now. But I think even clubs, yes, they're interested in Huijsen or Sule, but I think they're just sitting back and just making a full assessment of uh, of what clubs are gonna do. Like you like Huijsen, but for example, the Ligt is available. Nobody was expecting that 4 or 5 months ago, but he's available right now.
yeah,
It might change. Like players we are selling as well are not. How do you put? They're not top players, if you know what I mean. Like Sule
yeah,
and Huijsen are good prospects, but they're not top players. Players at Klopp are just gonna go, yeah, we need him at all costs. Let's push for him. They're not those type of players right now. So it will take time. Like Klopp will think it over twice before spending that money on still unproven players. So it's not that we wake up tomorrow and that offer comes in for us. Like selling those players is not gonna be easy. But we knew that, or like it's gonna be easy in terms of they will have offers, but it's not gonna be easy in terms of everybody wants, I don't know, just name the player. Everybody wants that player, and they're just gonna bid no matter what because they've seen enough. We are not selling those type of players. And then you have so many question marks with Rabiot. Marcus saying Rabiot is gone. He announced it today. He did not announce it today. I wish, but he
no.
didn't
He
announce
just
it
said the
today.
truth.
He just
He
said,
only said that
yeah,
his contract is up. Yeah,
yeah. So he didn't announce. I wish he did, but he announced absolutely nothing. He announced that he's taking
yeah,
the piss out of us. That was the announcement, basically. But whatever, that will sort itself out. The club moved on, or moved on. We got Thuram. We're gonna sign Thuram, so the club is not sitting there and just being heavily relying on Rabiot's decision. Basically, they said, okay, take your time, but in the meantime, here's Thuram. So make of that what you want, basically. Um, but yeah, like it's still very early, and it's not very early. If the main thing with me is, or like my issue is that the players we signed right now, or De Gregori is still not in. He is a quote unquote a starter, but he wasn't in a necessity. If you know what I mean. Like if we started the season with Chesney, nobody would complain, at all.
yeah,
So that's not gonna kind of move the needle. Douglas Luiz is probably a starter, but it wasn't anticipated early on. So it feels like he was not the main target. And Thuram is just a piece. Nobody knows. And actually he's going to the Olympics. So it's also whatever.
Yeah,
The main targets are the big ones: Koopmeiners and Calafiori. Depending on what's gonna happen with Kids and Sule, but I think that's been very clear that we're not gonna splash money on a winger right now. It's all gonna be a loan, um, or whatever. And people hit the like button because only 60 likes for now. But the main story right now is, forget about Koopmeiners for a second. It's Calafiori, because Bologna spoke, um, and you can go first. Actually, I recorded a video for tomorrow, so I don't want to really spoil it. But what I will say is that if you look up Carnavali's words from 3 years ago, it's
yeah,
identical, like really identical. And that's not me saying Calafiori is done. It's a done deal. I'm not saying that. However, Carnavali's literal words were, Locatelli needs to understand we have better offers from other clubs on the table. That's what Cannavali literally said, word for word. And Locatelli said, happy for you, but no thanks. That's what Locatelli said. And at the end of the day, they sold for less money because the player said, "Oh, whatever, that's good for you, but I'm not
yeah,
going there." Like I said early on, if we sign Calafiori, it will all come down to him and his agent
yeah.
saying it's Juve, period. But Hugo, what do you make of the statement? And actually, Romano uh, put out the words, but he kind of didn't take it out of context, but like he put it out there in capital words, not. But if you actually listen to
Yeah.
the interviews, he said, "I don't believe he's going to, like, it's not basically." But you go.
Yeah, so hit Califiori, we have at this point we have an agreement with him for months now, and his agent is exactly the same agent as Keane's, Moise Keane's agent, and we all know how that went down. He went down. He told Fiorentina, "Listen, you need to buy him," and they bought him. So now he will tell Bologna, "Listen, he wants to go to Juve and only to Juve. So sell him to Juve. They will offer a nice offer, and yeah, so that's what he's gonna say. And I think we're gonna sign him. It's just now Bologna's trying to play like the tough guy, but we all hear that lots of clubs are interested. Okay, let's make an offer. Let's see if that's actually true. I don't think the offers would be that high. I don't think it would go over 40. Like so, I think we're gonna sign Califiori. I hope as soon as possible, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
I'm still
But
confident that we're gonna
yeah,
sign him. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
maybe less
yeah, me
so
too.
than at the end of May, but that's only normal, because
Yeah,
Premier League clubs are reactionary. Not that they didn't know who Calafiori was, but they are reactionary, especially clubs like Chelsea who like to throw away money. But that statement comes from a person who is pissed with Giuntoli and
yeah,
is trying to
so silly.
kind of publicly put him on the spot, and basically telling the Premier League, pay us because hey, it's not going to happen to you. But that's what they're basically saying. What he's basically
They're
saying, and
begging.
he's just
They're
pissed
basically
that,
begging to Premier League
yeah,
clubs.
but he's just pissed that he knows the player has agreed terms with a club who's not going to play the bidding game.
Yeah,
Like for now, if the player told and his agent told Giuntoli, whatever, I'm playing for you next season, I want to join you, then Giuntoli is in the ideal spot right now. He just needs to sit out and go to Bologna this week or next week and say, whatever the situation is, this is the situation. Whatever you think the situation is, yes, he's your player, long term deal, 50% to Basel. He wants to play for us. Do you want to play this game all summer long, or actually are you going to sit around the table and we can figure this thing out right here? That's what Juntoli needs to do. He doesn't need to panic right now
yeah,
because he did what he had to do. Again, if the Premier League club comes in and he offers 60 million, then obviously we shouldn't be paying 60 million for Calafiori. I like Calafiori a lot. I really do. But that's a lot of
yeah,
money for one very good season. That's too much money. And Giuntoli is not going to play that game, and I'm not asking for Giuntoli to play that game. But Bologna is making it sound like that offer is on the table, like 60 million or something. Like you said, I refuse to believe that. That will make no sense because if Juve actually offered 30, then it would make, and Premier League clubs know, everybody knows what Juve is offering basically. It would make no sense for a Premier League club to come in and say, "Here we go, let me double it for no good reason at all." That
Yeah,
doesn't
but
make sense.
and which Premier League club would want him, and which Premier League club would make sense if you are Calafiori, because for him it would make sense to go to the best club in Italy historically, and then if he wants to go to a huge club like Real Madrid or whatever, then he makes the step. I don't know how many years later if he wants, but it doesn't make sense because big clubs, they don't want him like the biggest clubs in England.
I
So what's
think
the what's the
I think
what's the
Liverpool
reason?
will
I don't
go
know.
for him. I think Chelsea will go for him. I think it will start at Chelsea because if you look at their center back, Thiago Silva left as well. Like they're
Yeah,
poor at the back, like extremely poor. He's not gonna go to Arsenal and start. Then he's gonna need to play, I don't know, left back or so. Is that something he wants to do? I'm not sure he wants to do that right now because he's not gonna bench Gabriel or Saliba. That partnership, he's not gonna
yeah,
break that up right now. So for him, that will make no sense as well. Um, Chelsea will make sense because they're all rubbish at the back. Man U have no like they don't have a center back right now, but they're trying to sell
Delict
the
is the
Ligt.
move for them.
Um,
Yeah,
and then you have Liverpool, who at one point need to replace Van Dijk. You have Konate. You have or yeah, like Joe Gomez is probably gone, I think, or Matip is gone. Like they probably need some move, but right now it feels like if he goes to one of those Premier League clubs, it's gonna be to play left back, if not Chelsea. With us, he's gonna play center back. Danilo's gonna be moved up. Like that's just what it
and
is.
with his
That's
old
what.
coach.
So right now, like I'm absolutely not in panic mode right now. I will only
Yeah,
be panic or not panic. I will be disappointed because we will miss out on him if the news comes out that the club is just pulling out and not playing the game, or that the news is coming out that the club is actually offering peanuts and Premier League clubs are offering a lot of money to Bologna and the player is like, okay, I want to join you, but I cannot ask Bologna to take 20 million less. Like that's even from a player side, that's ridiculous. Like you cannot expect a club to do that. That's the
yeah,
only way I will sit back and be like, okay, it's over. But right now, it's just Bologna speaking, which it should be doing, by the way. I get what they're trying to do. Like it's fair. It's their player. They want to get the best value for him in. I get that. Like I'm not complaining about that. I'm not taking shots at Bologna for that. But right now, it's just Bologna speaking. So for me, it's absolutely not panic mode. It's just wait and see how Giuntoli will try to approach this, and if the
yeah.
agent
Plus,
and the player are committed to joining Juve.
yeah, yeah. He already like there's an agreement. Obviously, it means. I mean, it means a lot, but not like it's not a final whatever. It's not a signed contract,
Nope. Yep.
but also on the other hand, like if we miss him, like we missed many good players before, or many great players even, and life goes on.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We miss
I really,
like
I really want him, but yeah,
we miss player. Like I get you miss out on players, but at one point you cannot miss out. Like at one point you need to sign one
yeah,
of these players. Like we missed out on Verratti. I'm not saying it's the same, you know, talent wise. We don't know because Verratti was ridiculously good. But we missed out, back then, for peanuts as well. So you cannot keep missing out. And I saw the links with Kiwior and people are like, oh man, Kiwior is actually a very good player. Don't listen to Arsenal fans. He's a very good player. He is. And under Motta, you will be excellent. But it's just
yeah,
you set your mind or your eyes on Calafiori, and then you go to Kiwior, and it's like, oh, it disappoint.
yeah,
It's like I get that. Um, but again, if the offer is 50, 60 million, I don't expect Giuntoli to pay that. I don't expect Juve to pay that. I don't like if they offer if 60 million or something is needed, which people assume which is going to be the price tag, then I fully understand Giuntoli saying no, I'm not doing this. I just can't risk it all right now, or like I cannot put all that money and one towards one player and actually look at the team. I'm like, okay, this is missing a lot of pieces still. I get that. This is
Yeah.
not 2016 where you're like, okay, buy one player and we keep it moving. I get that situation. It's just it will be extremely, um, it will be extremely disappointing. That's just what it is. You know, that's basically
Yeah.
the issue right
I
now.
I want Calafiori more than I want Koopmeiners, to be honest. So
I think I
because
agree. I agree with that.
yeah, it's a unique way how Calafiori plays, especially with Motta. But he showed how he can play a similar way in the national team as well. But yeah, Koopmeiners is a good piece, but I think we could find similar players more like easier than Calafiori. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like Gold Miners will add to our team, you know, but
yeah,
he's not
for
a
sure.
unique, or he doesn't have a unique playing style, if you know what I mean. But Calafiori seems to have a unique playing style.
Yeah,
That's what you're trying to say. And I agree with you, by the way. I don't want to go as far as somebody saying he's a generational talent. I don't like
we will
these.
see.
I don't like these
Yeah,
words. It's like people saying Jude Bellingham is a generational player. I have different meaning to it. Like generational, I have like five players in the last I don't know how many years to call generational. Where I'm like, yeah, that's just
yeah, like
special.
Cannavaro. Cannavaro would be a generational player. Calafiori will be a Cannavaro-ish. I don't know. Yeah, it's too early
Like
to
generational for
say.
me, it's like a Neymar. I don't know what happened, but like that's just ridiculously
Yeah,
talented. Like that's not normal. Like that's just not normal for a player. Like Mbappe, like skill sets that are just not normal. But that's
yeah,
just me. We will see what Calafiori, but um, we cannot miss out on it. Actually, like Koopmeiners, we cannot miss out on a profile like Koopmeiners as well this summer. Not Koopmeiners in
yeah,
general, but on a profile.
yeah,
But again, if the price is 60 for Koopmeiners and 40 for Calafiori, it's an issue. We don't have 100 million euros. We don't have that money. So we already need to sell players or find ingenious ways to make deals, which is definitely not going to happen with Bologna and probably not going to happen with Atalanta. So it's not an easy month. Like it's a big month, but like I said, it's it's not an easy month. It's definitely not an easy month for Giuntoli because it's a lot of money that will need to be paid to bring in a Koopmeiners or a Calafiori, and we don't have that money right now lying on the table.
yeah. Basically, if we just sell all the scraps plus like Huysen or something, then we're good. But the problem is that no one wants our scrap when they earn 3 to 6 million netto. Sorry, um, yeah, net. So
Yeah,
it's not going to be easy,
it's not going to be
for sure.
easy. Like I think the club is waiting on sales, you know, and they like, he sold players already or moved out players, but
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
enough. But we knew it was not never going to be enough. Like we knew that, you know. I thought we were gonna not sell the players we were gonna need to sell, but now it feels like we're gonna sell them all this summer or get them all out, you know, which is also not gonna be easy. Like McKennie is whatever McKennie is doing. I have no idea what he's doing. If he ends up Fenerbahce, I'll be sitting there. I'll be like, you absolutely do not care about your career. You just don't. I got no respect disrespect to Fenerbahce, but like
yeah.
whatever, you know, you don't really care.
There are levels.
Then you have
Yeah,
Arthur. He's gone, but we need to find a way to get him out. We need to get rid of Dicilio. Chiesa's probably not gonna stay. Rabiot still is not our player, but like it's still out there. So we need to move out a lot of Nicolucci, Miretti. Is he gonna go out on loan? Who knows? Like Milik, the club wants him out. So it's a long list. You know, then you have Sule, you have Huysen as well,
yeah,
who's walking around. But if you sell Huysen as well, then you cannot miss out on Calafiori. Not saying they're as good right now, but it would make no sense for the club to do so. Like it wouldn't make sense. Like profile wise, excuse me, and playing style, like and projection wise, if you sell Huysen, you need to be sure. Okay, we're gonna sign Calafiori. It's gonna happen
yeah,
because you cannot sit there. And I will repeat myself, and it's not hate, but Danilo's contract is ridiculous, and it has an automatic renewal for one more season. That's one. Bremer has a release clause. Depending on this season goes, if an offer comes in, he made it very clear he wants to play in the Premier League. He will be 28 next season. There's no certainty that Bremer is going to be here beyond the next season. You know, we
Yeah,
don't know what Diallo is. We know what Rugani is. If you even miss out on Calafiori, you can be sitting next summer there with Diallo being a disappointed, Rugani just being Rugani, Danilo being Danilo a year older on high wages, Gatti
yeah,
Gatti who he is, and you need to replace. Like it could be like the club needs to think this through really, really good because it can escalate really, really quickly. I don't think people grasp how quickly it can go south. It can at the back because
yeah.
it's not good already. Like I don't care what people say. Last season it's not good. We don't have a good backline. If you sit back with
And
11, it
I,
looked decent. But if you just look at
yeah,
talent, like pound for pound, it's not great.
and if you look at the projections, they will project like Danilo as a right back, and I really don't want to see that.
And like the projection
I
is,
really
he's
don't
not
want.
gonna like the projection is his wages are too high for what he's actually offering. And again,
Yeah,
he's not piss poor. He's not a bang average footballer. Like I might get pissed with him at times, but like he's not the Chilio level. Like I'm not saying that, but he's getting older. His contract is big time, and you need to think about the future, like you did with Chesney. And the future should be a player like Calafiori, whatever. Because Bremer, people forget, like he will be 28, I think, next season
yeah,
or 27. Like he's
I
not.
think
People
so.
think like I was actually shocked because I thought he was younger. I'm not gonna lie, but he's not old. By the way, I'm not saying he's old,
Especially with defender scope, like
but in
he's really
his
young.
mind, he's like, if I want to go to the Premier League, it might need to happen next summer if that release clause gets paid. That might be my chance. Basically, we don't know. Like it's not a certainty. We're not in control. We're absolutely not in
Yeah,
control. So the club needs to think this through on the Calafiori one. They really do. Not saying just throw away the money and give Bologna whatever they want. Not saying that. Um, but yeah, they need to be careful. They need to be very careful. Um, Alex saying Calafiori is way better at this age than Cannavaro was at the same age. Uh, Even if that's true, at the end of the day, he won a Ballon d'Or. So the projection
yeah.
is then he like Calafiori winning a Ballon d'Or, basically. That's kind of the projection then. Um, Juve is already better by addition, by subtraction. No more Allegri, Rabiot, Alexandro, etc. Your team is already better, getting rid of the Deadwood. I see your point, but you still need to replace them. And it still all depends on the coaching at the end of the day. Him saying that is also him putting pressure on Juve to make an offer. I think they made an offer. It's just an offer that Bologna don't like, or they know what Juve is gonna offer through agents. Like they know which ballpark the offer is gonna be, and they probably know which ballpark the offer from the Premier League can be. But he's putting pressure on Juve. He is. Um, which like they can do that, by the way. Like they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
If we were selling a player, I expect Juve to play the same game. That's just, you cannot get angry
and
with
we
Bologna.
didn't play this game, and now let's hope
No.
Giuntoli will play this game. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you need to do as a club. So I don't blame Bologna. I see people calling out Bologna. They're just doing what they do. What I don't like is them saying you need to pay for Basel's 50%. Actually, that's your issue. That's not anyone's issue. That you made
yeah.
that stupid agreement, not we.
It's a silly deal.
So
Yeah,
if a player is worth 20, but you want to get 20, you cannot ask 40 because you need to, like, that's not how it works. That's on you. I get it, but
yeah. At the end of the day, he's still a Bologna player. I don't know, like no one will offer 40 or 50 million. Like, let's be honest here. Like 34, like, between 30 and 40, even a Premier League club is gonna, they're gonna be
I agree.
like trying to lowball them.
I don't think an offer of 50, I will be absolutely stunned if somebody offers 50 million.
Yeah,
I think it will be
me
in the
too.
region of 45. It will go up if actually two Premier League clubs really want him. Then it will go up. They will bid against each other. But if it's Liverpool, I can be completely wrong. But like he's a good player, but I don't think a Premier League club is gonna offer 60 based on 3 games at the Euros. Actually 2.5 because that Albania game was just throwaway game because like
Yeah.
that was completely pointless. Like Albania didn't came to play at all for 90 minutes. They got the goal, they went down, and they were like, yeah, whatever. They never actually put any pressure on them. So, is there maybe any news about any U players who can play fullback? I hope not, because we don't have good fullbacks in the U. So I hope not.
Yeah, we
Um,
kind of have.
Not good enough to play immediately. Not no.
Yeah.
I cannot have that
Not
next
yet.
season.
Yeah.
Because I think it's crazy that not even any rumor is going on about fullbacks, except ridiculous one about Di Lorenzo. Yeah, but also like there are no real rumors about Chiesa's replacement potentially. Yeah, Sancho on loan, but like it's like, yeah, whatever. I guess it's not real like news you can just hang your head up. It's not that type of news. So it's a weird one. I'm still convinced Koopmeiners Calafiori are coming. Conte's making Conte transfers, Spinazzola to Napoli. He will never stay fit. Like I feel sorry for him, but that's a weird signing. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let me see if on some other comments, because I skipped a lot because I was talking.
Wait, Spinazzola has both knees operated, right? Or only one?
I
Twice?
think
What's
Zaniolo has both.
Oh,
I think it was Zaniolo, to be honest. Could be like he had a lot of bad luck. Spinazzola, so it wouldn't surprise me if that actually
yeah.
if that
I
actually
think
did
he had two
happen.
operations, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want Spinazzola. How much would he play? Less than Dybala.
Yeah. Like he's a
Dybala
backup
had what,
player.
28 games?
He's a
I think
backup
Dybala
player.
had 28 games.
He's a
Yeah, yeah,
backup
yeah.
player. So um chances Pogba plays if some ban reduction happens. I don't know. It's
Nope.
not gonna be with us, so
Yeah, he
um
will be kicked out in a few, I don't know, days or weeks. I think from the 1st of July we can kick him out. I think.
actually we still need to
I'm
wait
not
because
sure.
he's going into
Mm.
an appeal, so you can actually not really kick him out, because if he wins, then
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
no,
He
it doesn't
gets minimum
matter.
wage.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter, but like officially, I don't think you can really do that
yeah,
right now. I really hope we get Calafiori, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. Some prank club is gonna chuck 80 million. Nah, that's not gonna
nah,
happen. Like
nah.
it makes no sense if Juve is offering 30, a Premier League club putting 80 on the table is just stupid.
Just think.
Even if Bologna are saying we want 80, that Premier League club is like, good for you, but he has an agreement with Juve and they're offering 30. We're not gonna offer 80. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
We can offer 80, but if Calafiori is like, I don't want to join you, then why are we offering 80? Like it
yeah.
makes no
If
sense. Convincing you is good, I guess, but that's
yeah,
not the so
if you look at the delict rumors that what is it, 42 million euros or something.
pounds. I saw
That
pounds, so it's about 50 million euros or something.
yeah. So if he's 50, I don't see Califiori goes over 40, 45 for sure.
No, I agree with you, by the way. And I know the hype is extremely low for the Ligt and extremely high for
Yeah,
Calafiori,
yeah. But
but
it's still Bayern Munich.
yeah, that's it. That's it. And
Yeah,
it's if Calafiori was playing for Brentford or Everton, then I could have seen them pay 60, and so like Braithwaite to Manu. He was quoted at 60 or something like that.
that's
Then I can
crazy.
see that, but I don't see a Premier League club paying that money for a Serie A player, knowing that Juve is not gonna pay that. I know you were
I
exaggerating. I
don't.
know what the point
Yeah,
was, but
it's
like,
a Premier League. Like I don't think they want the Italian defender that much. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
no, and forget about what Sartori said. Forget about that. Like he said, we might sell, we don't want to sell, we prefer to. He said everything
Yeah,
and said nothing at the same time. Like what he said is kind of irrelevant right now. Like he's doing what he needs to do, put him out in the shopping window. Saying that we might sell or actually want to keep it means absolutely nothing. If the player the player's like, I want out, sell me. They're
Yeah,
not gonna say no. You're gonna sit out. You're just gonna play for us against your will. It's at the end of the day, it's still Bologna. It's not Juve. It's not Bayern. It's not Man U where they're like telling a player like, bad luck. You're just gonna need to play it out this season, I guess.
yeah.
It's not that type of vibe. I know look up Carnevali said the same thing. He did the same thing, saying he needs to understand we have better offers, and then he also said, and if not, he will stay. And everybody knew he's not gonna stay. Like everybody knew he's just not gonna stay. Look, Locatelli made it very clear. He made it very clear. Like, and Carnevali was
Yeah.
speaking every single day. I think people forgot about that. Every single day, the same thing. We're gonna keep him. His
For
offer
me,
comes in, we're gonna keep him. And then boom, they sold him on a very weird structured deal.
it's a lot more about the agent and Calafiori it's himself than Bologna, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because if they really if Calafiori really wants to follow Motta, then it will happen. Like Bologna can do nothing about it.
yeah,
They
I
just need
agree.
to push it.
I agree. Like it will, like I've said it many times, it will depend on agent and
Yeah,
player to actually bring all parties together and find an agreement. That hasn't changed right now, no matter
and
what Bologna said.
what's the name of the agent? Lucci, right?
Luce,
I
yeah,
think. So many deals between Juve and the agent. So it's a really good connection, really good
yeah. I know
relationship.
he didn't do these deals with Giuntoli, but yeah, Quadrado, yeah, Bonucci, Kostic, Keane,
Yeah, yeah,
probably forgetting Perin, I think as well.
yeah. Lots
Um,
of them I know. Yeah,
a lots of these players. So Giuntoli did what he had to do, and I was just wait and see. He did what he had to do. It's very clear agreement in place. He couldn't have done anything more because they were not going to sell before the Euros. Bologna did what he had to do. They had to do. It's just now wait and see, and
so
the agent is going to play a key part in this to bring everybody together.
yeah, yeah. My prediction is it's not a bold or anything because this is probably what is happening. Is that we're waiting for the Chiesa and Rabiot things, to find out 100% what's happening.
Could be.
I hope we're not waiting on Rabiot because I hope that deal that's behind us already. But nothing official came out, so I'm still worried a little bit. But Chiesa for sure. I think once that's done, that once we know that okay, we need to spend for a winger as well or something, or then we will know what's happening.
Yeah.
I think.
It's gonna move. It needs to move fast in the next 2 weeks, like really fast. Like things need to be very
Yeah,
clear. That's
yeah. We can't start the preseason with like this. That we don't know like several positions. We don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's crazy. We can't.
we will see. We will see. It's just day one of the transfer window. I expect some interesting news this week, and from next week I start, actually bids and talks taking place, and things becoming clear. Yes, you're gonna sign Calafiori or no. Yes, Koopmeiners or no. But it needs to move fast, not just for us, but for other clubs, and that's why things will start running. Because other clubs will start making bids, making decisions. Okay, we're gonna sign Chiesa, or yes, we're going for Huijsen, or yes, we're gonna put in a bid for Calafiori, being I don't know Arsenal, Liverpool. That will happen in the next 2 weeks, because then it really needs to happen. But we will see. We will talk about it. As always on this channel, I'm gonna wrap this one up because I need to wake up in 6 hours, so that's not a good prospect to look forward to. But people in the chat, thanks for joining. Hit the like button on your way out because we only have 37 likes, which is not good enough. Norbert, thanks for joining as always. Hoping we will have something real to talk about, good or bad, in the next show, so we can actually see what this transfer window is really going to be all about, I guess. But yeah, people, thanks for watching. See you guys